Something you long believed to be true but realized wasn't.
Well, as one of the main opponents of the Illuminati, I always wanted to know what information they had that we didn't.
We finally have an update on the drowning death of Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Now, according to ABC7, they stated that Malcolm-Jamal Warner had drowned while he was on vacation in Costa Rica. Now, the article goes on to say that Warner had drowned off the coast of Costa Rica on Sunday.
Life, it's fragile, and in the blink of an eye,
you never know.
You never know. So speaking of legacy, what do you hope that your legacy is going to be?
There is part of me that I will be able to leave this earth, knowing and people knowing that I was a good person.
Something I once believed was absolutely true, but eventually had to unlearn, is this. If you're good enough, talented enough, honest enough, you'll make it. That your work will speak for itself. But I learned the hard way, especially in the entertainment industry, that isn't how it works. As someone who has spent years calling out the hidden power structures in Hollywood, including the influence of groups like the Illuminati, I always wondered what truths they were keeping from us. Now, we're grappling with one of those truths, the tragic death of Malcolm-Jamal Warner. According to ABC7, Warner died from drowning while vacationing in Costa Rica. It happened on a Sunday during a family trip when he was swimming with his 8-year-old daughter off the coast of Lyman. The area is notorious for unpredictable rip currents, and on that day, no lifeguards were stationed because resources had been redirected following a string of recent accidents. There were warning signs at the beach in both English and Spanish, maps showing how to escape a current, and local surfers close by. One surfer was able to rescue Malcolm's daughter. Another tried to save Malcolm, but by the time first responders arrived, it was too late. He died of asphyxia from submersion. An autopsy later confirmed it was a tragic accident. The loss hit hard.
Because I spent, so much of the early part of my life listening to being celebrated on one hand, but paying way too much attention to the naysayers.
Rican Beach, where officials say a dangerous rip current swept away Malcolm-Jamal Warner. The Cosby Show star drowning in secluded paradise on Sunday.
What makes that beach so treacherous?
It's similar to other beaches where there are strong rip currents that are deceiving.
Mike Geist helps run a volunteer lifeguard organization here. He says while no lifeguards were on duty that day, Geist's friend, who happens to be a trained lifeguard, was there to surf and discovered Warner unresponsive in the water. Costa Rica's Red Cross says they were able to rescue another man alive who was taken to a clinic in critical condition.
Rica, Jesse, officials say Warner's autopsy is now complete.
It was completed this morning, according to authorities, Tom, and they say that it confirmed that Warner's drowning death was, in fact, an accident.
Not only because of the way it happened, but because of who Malcolm was. A child star who grew into a man of deep principle, unshaken values, and quiet power. He didn't fall into scandal. He didn't chase clicks. He didn't sell his soul. So why was he ignored for most of his adult career? Katt Williams has been calling this out for years. In Hollywood, if you don't play by their rules, especially as a black man, they'll bury you. They'll call you difficult. They'll erase you. And looking at Malcolm's path, that's exactly what happened. He refused to take roles that mocked black men. No clowning, no dresses, no buffoonery. He wasn't trying to be palatable. He was trying to be real. And because of that, the industry turned its back. Not because he lacked talent, but because he wouldn't conform. Now, in death, those same media outlets and award shows that ignored him are calling him a legend, a pioneer. But where was all that praise when he needed it? When he was making bold, honest art on his own terms? This isn't about conspiracies, it's about repetition, patterns. The way black artists are only celebrated once they're gone and can no longer challenge the system. Malcolm-Jamal Warner, best known as Theo on The Cosby Show, wasn't just a nostalgic name. He was a multi-dimensional artist, Emmy-nominated actor, Grammy-winning musician, director, poet, activist. He stayed married, had no scandals, no public meltdowns. He raised his daughter with intentionality, and his words about fatherhood were full of grace and maturity. "I needed a girl first," he once said, "to slow me down, to soften me." He was clear about the kind of father he wanted to be, and how deeply he understood the importance of modeling love, care, and respect.
So even before conception, we were very clear we were having a girl. And I knew that I needed a girl first to kind of ease me into it, because I have a pretty good idea of what kind of father I would be. So I needed a girl to kind of, slow me down and warm, soften me up, if you will. So for me, raising my daughter, I came into fatherhood already with a certain maturity and certain understanding of male-female dynamics. And with a girl, all of that starts with the father. So I've always, since I literally pulled her out of my wife.
Some of us make choices. I think it's not a biggest choice for others. I'm saying at the end of the day, Kevin doesn't have to worry about what people are going to say about him wearing a dress because of the long line of dress wearing people before him. So now we have Big Mama's house 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. I've never seen Medea in a pantsuit. I think she wears dresses. So now I'm saying, why are we picking on poor little Kevin Hart? Because it was his turn next. Some of us are against the Illuminati. We are against the Illuminati at our own detriment. When people are against the Illuminati, then they get punched in the face all the time. The press hates them, and nobody likes them. End quote.
We all love Dave Chappelle.
Exactly. Dave Chappelle has never been a part of the Illuminati. They don't want him or me or people like us.
He was beloved by peers, grounded, consistent, a man who knew his worth without needing applause. And yet, Hollywood ghosted him. After The Cosby Show, he could have taken loud sitcom gigs or goofy movie roles. Instead, he chose the hard road. He launched a podcast, Not All Hood, challenging the media's depiction of black culture. He rejected the idea that all black stories had to look the same. In a 2021 op-ed, he didn't hold back. He said the gatekeepers, white executives, white producers, white writers still controlled black representation. And even when black creatives were invited to the table, they were rarely given real power. He also criticized modern hip-hop, the misogyny, the N-word, the glorified violence. He called it lazy, empty. He said even rappers he respected, like J. Cole, fell into the trap of using cheap language. He wasn't judging, he was challenging. When the Kendrick versus Drake beef exploded last year, Malcolm said what others were afraid to. Our music gets the most attention when it tears us down. That's why his death feels like more than a loss. It feels like a signal. He was one of the few who stayed true and paid the price. Meanwhile, others rose fast by playing the game, slipping into stereotypes, saying yes when they should have said no, and some of them made it work. No judgment. But that wasn't Malcolm's path. He stayed in his lane, and the industry sidelined him for it. Even Katt Williams knows the playbook. If you don't do the ritual, he said, they don't let you in. And what's the ritual? The dress, the fat suit, the clown role. The moment they can humiliate you on camera, they will. And if you refuse, they erase you. Katt was parodied 9 times on Saturday Night Live and never invited on the show. That wasn't an accident. That was a message. Now that Malcolm is gone, Hollywood is backtracking. Streaming services are promoting his unreleased work. Networks are planning tributes. Celebrities are posting long-winded praise. But none of it is new. None of it is real. It's the same cycle. Ignore them while they're alive. Profit off them once they're silent. Malcolm didn't lose. He won. He lived with integrity, but his story is a reminder that success isn't always rewarded when it's rooted in truth. So now we ask, is this late praise genuine, or just another PR spin from an industry trying to cover its tracks? Because Malcolm-Jamal Warner wasn't just another celebrity. He was a blueprint for how to stand tall in a world that rewards playing small. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Malcolm was sidelined for refusing to play the Hollywood game? And why does it always take someone's death for the world to finally pay attention? Hit like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.